Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Today I am excited. I have got my biggest ever acquisition to date
You spent too much money now.
with a pre-war legend, one of the members of the first class of the Hall of Fame from 1936.
Is a legend up here.
And I am excited to show this card off. It actually had its YouTube premiere a little while back on a friend of mine, Dave, Legends of the Dugout, on his channel. Check him out. It was on his latest live and unprepared live stream. So go check out Dave over there at Legends of the Dugout.
Great job, Dave!
And speaking back to the matter at hand.
Focus your thoughts on where we must go.
Want to show off my latest acquisition, so stick around. Hello friends, I am John and I am a 3D 80s kid. So the player in question that I have picked up is this guy right here. This isn't the card that's new. I've had this one for a while, but
I don't even know what I'm doing here. We're wasting our time.
You know, this one, while being pre-war with 1940 play ball, is not a playing days card of Walter Johnson since he retired in 1927. So I decided quite a while back after I got this that, you know, what I really want to do is playing days cards, and this didn't fit the bill.
That makes sense.
And at the same time, I am doing my absolute darndest to avoid collecting these. If you're not aware, it's a $250 threshold for any eBay purchase for a graded card, where it'll end up going through authentication and you get one of these fancy little holders with your card in it when it comes back. So to this point, I have successfully avoided earning any of those.
You cheap bastard.
I've just happened to have received a few with just how the people shipped me various cards. To this point, I have 3 of them, but haven't earned any, if you will. So I want to earn as few as possible on my route to finishing my ultimate project of collecting one card of every single Hall of Famer in the history of MLB, which is, at this point, 270 players. And
oh, well, I'm ambitious.
I am about halfway there, and want to keep this going and see how close I can get. So
Good luck, kid.
I want to take a little look at the economics of my card selection versus, you know, like choosing an iconic card, like say the T206 set. If I had chosen a card of Walter Johnson from that set, what does it cost? How many of these are out there versus the card I chose, which is less common and less known? So with that, I put a little presentation together I'm going to show you. So I'm going to flip this around to the computer and dive into some numbers with you. So here we are with my presentation to do a little comparison on the iconic T206 set versus what I decided to purchase, which is a W514 strip card. If you're not aware, the W in that set designation almost in all cases refers to strip cards. Strip cards would be cards that were literally issued in a strip. Typically, they were distributed by convenience stores, candy shops, that type of thing, where they would cut off a certain number of cards based off of how much you spent, and that's how you would collect those cards. So they are not typically cut very well. In fact, if you look through the data, the graded data on strip cards as a whole, pretty close to 50% of them end up being graded as authentic because they don't have the right cut to get the actual border of the card in full, and so they automatically then get the authentic grade, which also happens to be the grade of the card that I did in fact purchase. And so let's take a look at some of the data around that classic T206 set versus my card, and let's move on. So first, we've got the 1909-11 T206 portrait cards. They have a total graded population of 1,189 in pre-war. This is pretty plentiful. Here, the example shown is a 1, because that's kind of the neighborhood where I live with pre-war, where I'm generally going to be picking up cards that are either authentic or 1s, or in the cases of more, lesser known Hall of Famers, I might have the opportunity for some 1.5s or even 2s here and there, but mostly I'll be residing in this 1 in authentic territory. So how much do these portrait cards go for? Here are the recent sales. We've got a one that I had pictured before, went for $1749.99. Of course, that was a fixed price sale and not an auction. And an authentic that actually looks a little nicer went for $1403 in an auction. And this one here that was an authentic as well went for $1809. So we are literally talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 for this portrait Walter Johnson card, which is way out of my price range. Not that I'm really looking for the portrait cards anyways. That's not really my thing. I kind of like the ones that are more of the baseball poses a little better than these portraits. So moving on, we've got the one with the hands at chest, which if I was going to buy the T206 card, this would be the one I'd target anyway, regardless of price. And they have a total graded population on this one of 1,066 with this pretty nice looking 1.5. And let's check out the recent sale prices on this guy. We have got $842 for a one. Zooming in tighter on this one actually has crease right through the face there, as well as many other creases. So as far as the picture quality, it's not the best. There's that 1.5 I pictured before that went for $1152.77. And then lastly, this one that went for $550 is also a one. And zooming in tighter, this one actually looks as if someone folded this one up and stuffed it in a ball in their pocket at some point. It has so many creases and wrinkles to this one. It's really not the picture quality I am looking for with these cards. I would love, T206s are great, but I would much rather have a more economical alternative for someone that is of this legendary stature. Because we're still talking, in order to get into this card for something where the picture looks decent, I mean, we're still looking at something in the order of $1,000. So pretty high above my price stratosphere at this point. So where did I end up? Let's take a peek. And the one W514 strip card has a population of only 84 cards graded, and my price was $229.50.
By Grabthar's hammer, what a savings.
Let's flip this back around and take a look at my actual card. So with all that data, now let's take a look at the card I purchased. And here it is, a 1919-21 W514 strip card of Walter Johnson. Every time I look at it, I just love it. I love the pink sky, that blue tree in the distance, the little rosy to his cheeks and red lips, the red of the hat. I'm in love with the card.
It's beautiful.
And, of course, my need for everything to be uniform is going to make me spend the $20 to get this in a new slab. I know you might think it's silly, but it's just part of who I am. I need everything to be uniform or it bugs me.
That's your mentally ill.
So I am going to get it sent in and get the newer black label on this. But I am just loving this card. Of course, all the strip cards are blank backs. This one, looks like it might have been glued down at some point.
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Glad you stuck around to share in my joy of this gorgeous card that I am going to enjoy for years to come. And thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.
See you next time.